Scottish Royal Consorts. Gruach, Lady Macbeth, 1040 to 1057. Spouse, Macbeth. Place of birth, Scotland. Ingeborg, Finsdottir, 1058 to 1069. Spouse, Malcolm III. Place of birth, Norway. Margaret of Wessex, St Margaret, 1070 to 1093. Spouse, Malcolm III. Place of birth, England. Ethelreda of Northumbria, 1094. Spouse, Duncan II. Place of birth, Scotland. Sibylla of Normandy, 1107 to 1122. Spouse, Alexander I. Place of birth, France. Maud of Northumbria, 1124 to 1130. Spouse, David I. Place of birth, unknown. Ermengarde de Beaumont, 1186 to 1214. Spouse, William I. William the Lion. Place of birth, unknown. Joan of England, 1221 to 1238. Spouse, Alexander II. Place of birth, England. Marie de Coucy, 1239 to 1249. Spouse, Alexander II. Place of birth, France. Margaret of England, 1251 to 1275. Spouse, Alexander III. Place of birth, England. Yolande de Dreux, 1285 to 1286. Spouse, Alexander III. Place of birth, unknown. Elizabeth de Burgh, 1306 to 1327. Spouse, Robert I. Robert the Bruce. Place of birth, present-day Northern Ireland. Joan of England, Joan of the Tower, 1329 to 1362. Spouse, David II. Place of birth, England. Margaret Drummond, 1364 to 1369. Spouse, David II. Place of birth, unknown. Euphemia de Ros, 1371 to 1386. Spouse, Robert II. Place of birth, Scotland. Annabella Drummond, 1390 to 1401. Spouse, Robert III. Place of birth, Scotland. Joan Beaufort, 1424 to 1437. Spouse, James I. Place of birth, England. Mary of Gelders, 1449 to 1460. Spouse, James II. Place of birth, Netherlands. Margaret of Denmark, 1469 to 1486. Spouse, James III. Place of birth, Denmark. Margaret of England, 1503 to 1513. Spouse, James IV. Place of birth, England. Madeline of Valois, 1537. Spouse, James V. Place of birth, France. Mary of Guise, 1538 to 1542. Spouse, James V. Place of birth, France. Francis II of France, 1558 to 1560. Spouse, Mary I, Mary Queen of Scots. Place of birth, France. Henry Stuart, 1565 to 1567. Spouse, Mary I, Mary Queen of Scots. Place of birth, Scotland. James Hepburn, the 4th Earl of Bothwell, 1567. Spouse, Mary I, Mary Queen of Scots. Place of birth, Scotland. Anne of Denmark, 1589 to 1619. Spouse, James VI. Place of birth, Denmark. Henrietta Maria of France, 1625 to 1649. Spouse, Charles I. Place of birth, France. Catherine of Braganza, 1662 to 1685. Spouse, Charles II. Place of birth, Portugal. Mary of Modena, 1685 to 1701. Spouse, James VII. Place of birth, Duchy of Modena and Reggio, present-day Italy. George of Denmark, 1702 to 1707. Spouse, Anne. Place of birth, Denmark.